Do you give in to a food craving only to be left with an aftertaste of guilt you'd rather do without? I've been researching all the best health and wellness information for over 20 years, and in today's episode, I'm going to help you make better food choices more consistently. And not by telling you what to eat, I'm pretty sure you've got that covered by now, but by helping you doing it with as little effort as possible. But as usual, before I deliver the goodies, a story. Back when I was a bank manager, we had one particularly difficult client to deal with on a regular basis. She was forever frazzled, constantly asking for favors, giving herself airs of importance, and pretending that she had gotten her checkbooks mixed up whenever her account would go under, which was at the end of each month. Come on. One day, after the teller refused to reimburse an overdraft fee for the nth time, the woman caused the scene. And as if on cue, her 8-year-old, who had also come to grace us with his presence that day, started to pretend he was shooting the teller with his imaginary gun. As I was debating about how to intervene, the client banged on the countertop and threatened, "Well then, I'm going to close my account." I know she had no intention of doing so, but I wasn't going to miss my chance. So before anyone could say another word, I came right out of my office with my biggest smile and I said, "Let's begin." And when that difficult person left the branch for the last time, we threw a party. This is an example of what happens when a person is dysregulated. Her thoughts and emotions being so out of control affected her business relationships, her finances, and her time. Now she had to go and find another bank, and probably not one that was going to be as tolerant of her tantrums as we were. So what chaos is our own dysregulation doing to our food choices? How do we stop our bodies from demanding a chocolate bar or an extra portion when we know that we've hit our limit? Most of us have tried to improve our food habits and failed because we rely on pure self-regulation. With so many ultra-tasty, super convenient food options literally all over the place, that willpower better be real strong if it's our only hope at focusing on dark leafy greens and omega-3s. But our self-regulation is already highly solicited all day as we grind through morning traffic, deal with our teenagers' attitude, and avoid that much-needed brain break because we just have too many deadlines. So before the day is done, our self-regulation fails, having been on overdrive all day long. We seek a little moment of simple pleasure and give in to that yummy, sweet, melt in your mouth, soft-baked cookie. So since we know that our willpower is already taxed by all of the other demands of life, let's not put all of our hopes in it to also regulate our food intake. Instead, let's try something else. We know that high cortisol is responsible for a lot of high sugar, high salt, and high fat food cravings. So if we want to improve our food habits, we have to limit it. We also know that when we eat ultra-processed, super tasty foods, the reward circuits in the brain release a lot of dopamine, and I think that sometimes we find ourselves reaching for these foods because our bodies are trying to compensate for the low dopamine. Leptin is another factor to look at because its role is to regulate appetite. So we also want to make sure that we aren't short on that one. And if we want to give our self-regulation a shot of helping us at all, then we need to make sure serotonin isn't low because serotonin helps us self-regulate. Now, wouldn't it be just perfect if we could at once decrease cortisol and increase dopamine, leptin, and serotonin? Then our body could do the work of regulating our appetite and food cravings all by itself, instead of us having to rely on sheer willpower to do all the heavy lifting. What if there was a pill that could do all that? I bet it'd be a huge success. If it doesn't come with terrible side effects, then weight loss companies would make millions. Oh, but wait, there is a better way and one that's free. All these biochemicals can reach optimal levels if we sleep enough. And here, all the side effects are positive, like improved memory, reduced headaches, perkier mood, etc. Not to mention, if we go to bed a bit earlier, we might get rid of a lot of that nighttime snacking, which, let's face it, is probably the time of day when we eat the worst things. So let's set a soft alarm to remind us that it's time to stop scrolling and start snoring. Oh, what? It was cheesy? Oh, I liked it. I thought it was cute. Just leave it in. I believe that the biggest driver of our food choices, other than our culture and our current habits, is adequate sleep or lack thereof. Have you ever noticed that when we're tired, we naturally look for all the wrong foods? My friend and colleague Jessica Grossmeyer defines spiritual well-being as the journey towards being one's most authentic self through practices that promote connection with oneself, with others, and with the world. I think that's a very beautiful goal to reach for, and the ability to begin each day feeling rested and to feed our bodies with nutritious choices that we can feel good about is a great step in that direction. And if you're thinking, MJ, that all sounds good, but my struggle is with sleep, then check out my previous episode, which offered my most unexpected tip to help you with that. Thank you so much for visiting. Please give this video a like and subscribe to this channel to help me continue to bring you my most applicable and uplifting health and wellness tips.